all these notifications.
All
Okay.
right,
Prompted.
12:05. Start the meeting, guys.
All right, Madam Prez, go ahead.
Can't tell if
I
Sam's
just want to say
background is...
welcome everybody to our second general meeting. It's wonderful to have you guys keep continuing to show up to these meetings. It means a lot to us, especially since we are virtually online. This is one thing I do look forward to every single week. So the fact that seeing your names popping up, your faces popping up, it definitely warms my heart because it's not in person, but it's virtual. As close as we can get, I'm happy. So then let's go ahead and start off to the announcements. First off, Discord. I have noticed that somebody did ask in Slack in regard to Discord. Yes, we do have a Discord. However, this Discord is for social and social events only. So anything in regards to fast business or fast announcements, everything will be on Slack. That is the #1 platform we're using for our fast business. It will stay on Slack. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and feel free to ask me or the rest of my e-board. We can definitely help you further, but Discord is just for social only. Austin, National Cyber League?
Yeah, so National Cyber League registration has opened. There's both individual games and team games. So basically National Cyber League covers a wide variety of topics. It covers from cryptography, OSINT, log analysis, scanning, network traffic analysis, forensics, web app, enumeration and exploitation, and then password cracking. Myself and Samuel Rahman, two of us both on e-board, have done NCL before. And so individual games start October 23rd, and then team games start November 6th. So I can announce it in Slack. We do have a separate Slack channel for NCL, National Cyber League. I can plug that into the general Slack a little bit later after our meeting ends for y'all to join. And if you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask myself and or Sam how things happen. Do you need prior experience? No. There's a preseason and also a gymnasium for you to learn where it gives you like step-by-step how to do certain things. If you're brand new to it. So it's a great learning experience. I definitely recommend it. We did get silver last year in teams, so let's try to top that and get gold, please. So we'll see what happens, but we hope y'all will join us.
Austin, this is Dr. Manson. We do have NCL power rankings. So I would love for Cal Poly to make the power rankings. We have 3 schools in Nevada where I live now that make the top 100, but I'd love to see Cal Poly there.
Pressure, pressure.
Last year's
Challenge
questions were really
accepted.
difficult. Yeah, those questions were really
right
difficult.
on.
Remember that. But it was a lot of fun.
It's
If you definitely want to learn how to do, there's no like real in-shell like hack the box kind of scenarios. It's more kind of like questionnaire sort of stuff. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun working with these guys. I learned a ton from it. So that would be, if you are interested in kind of learning a bunch of different, just kind of reaching your hands into a bunch of different branches of cybersecurity, this is like definitely the competition that you would want to enter yourself into.
So now I'll hand it off to our amazing treasurer, Jackie, to talk about memberships.
Thank you. Yes, memberships. So thank you so much for you guys who have already paid. I've definitely confirmed with all of you. For those who haven't, the membership is $30. That will cover both semesters. That'll include your t-shirt as well as a bunch of other things. And then if you're a graduating senior, you'll get your graduation stole. You can DM me on Slack. It's just Jackie with 2 E's. But I'm always on chat, so you'll see me. And then a quick plug, Edgar just passed it. He was our former director of blockchain for blockchain research team. And he just passed his Security Plus exam. So just a huge accomplishment to Edgar. He's one of my favorite people. I'm super proud of him. So congrats. And then now the lovely Miss JJ will be presenting today. I think JJ is amazing. She's been on part of eBoard and tons of research teams. I'm really excited about her presentation. I know you guys will love it too. She's also having a social on Friday that will be in conjunction with this presentation. It will be on Friday from 3 to 5. be really, really fun. You can reach out to herself or any one of us and we'll give you more details. But we look forward to having you. Yes, Dr. Maria, I agree. Jade is completely amazing. So I look forward to that. And then before I forget, I'm going to turn it over to Greg, who'll be talking about the Cybersecurity Awareness Fair. It's a lot of fun. I participated last semester. Don't regret it. We'll be doing it again this semester. So I'll let Greg talk about that really quick.
Great. Thanks, Jackie. Okay, so a lot of you are new. So I'm just going to talk about what is the Cybersecurity Awareness Fair first. So this is ran during Cybersecurity Awareness Month, which is October. And it's really, this whole fair is designed to help the public, which ranges all the way from kids, like elementary school, all the way up through adults. And then there's a bunch of stuff for us, you know, technical college students, learners sort of people. We're going to have all the clubs participating and doing their thing, which I'll get to in a second. You're going to have professional speakers. There's going to be a job fair, networking. You're going to get to know a lot of the movers and shakers at the school because everyone is involved. This is a really big deal. I think last year there was something like 900 attendees there. We pretty much took over the whole BSC, Bronco Student Center, for those of you who have never actually eaten there yet. Sorry, you'll get there. Yeah, the job fair is awesome. You'll meet some companies, you'll meet the speakers. There's lots of handshaking and getting to know people. We'll do virtual handshakes this time. And more than anything, you're going to end up with a lot of experience and really get you involved with the school. Now, what can you do with CSAF in this? You can work at either the club level or the fair level. So first, at the fair level, you can help with the organization of the event, marketing and graphics for the event. You can just say, hey, I don't want to do everything along the way. I just want a day of volunteer. There's lots of volunteer jobs. There's lots of setup. It's all digital, but there's still a lot of work to be done. In general, there's a lot of work, and there's a whole committee that goes on with the school every week that if you want to, you can attend. Otherwise, let us know and we'll get you involved with that. We have a channel here on Slack to keep everyone in that. Okay, now as far as FAST goes, because we're all FAST members and we want to help out FAST. So our theme for our booth is AI, from facial recognition to TikTok. Now that's a big spread. That's a lot of hot buzzwords sort of thing, but really we're going to be hitting facial recognition bias. We're going to be talking about how AI kind of works, where it works into social media, and then how to secure yourself, what it means, what your digital footprint is, and essentially putting some context into all that. So we're going to be doing presentations, workshops, demos, and then we're also going to be doing a capture the flag event in conjunction with other clubs, so that it'll be a really great thing for all the attendees. So if you want to join, go ahead and either join CSAF 20-21 channel, or just say hey in the general and we'll add you. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Nice job. Thanks, Greg.
And now we're gonna
and you'll get to know Dr. Maria. She's amazing. She's in the meeting today, and she's super involved. She's amazing.
Well, I'm not sure now that it's in Zoom. I'm technologically challenged, you know.
It's okay. We'll get you out of the little black box you're in right now.
And thank you so much. I concur to both of that. And now, without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to the lovely Miss Jordan Jacobson.
All right. Hi, everyone. Yeah, just to real quick while I'm getting this set up, definitely join CSAF. It's one of the best experiences. It's a lot of fun. We always have fun every year. And like getting to plan with everybody is just very exciting. So, and yes, if you couldn't tell by my background, I am super ready for fall. I get to spend my fall in Reno this year. So it's nice and cold here. So today we are going to talk about who like if you're struggling with whether you think that cybersecurity is not for you for whatever different reasons that may be, we're going to talk about why you should maybe rethink that. Real quick, a special thanks to all of my sources. They granted me access to all the information that I'm showing you today, so thank you to them. So the first thing that I want to talk about, if you take anything out of this presentation, I want it to be these next 3 slides. These are statements from your peers. This, all of the quotes that I have in the next 3 slides come straight from past peers, and I really, really want to emphasize the importance of being able to like have a voice and being able to like share these things and communicate. So I know that you all can read these, but I'm going to go through and read them with you. So the first one, they treated me as one of them and made me feel like I belong. It all went uphill from there. I was placed into an all-male group in class, made some suggestions, got ignored. Another guy made the same suggestions, and we went with his idea. I got gender sidelined so hard I nearly fell out of my chair. I get no respect. As a Latinx individual in tech, I'm proud that I'm a minority. I feel like it's my role to ensure technology serves a larger user demographic than it currently serves. My perspective is valued by management because I bring an additional culture with me. It's like I'm a voice for my ethnic group and I can bridge the gap for underrepresented groups. Privilege walk. Everyone grows up differently, whether it was easy or hard. Participating in the privilege walk was one of the most eye-opening experiences I've had. A lot of times we take for granted having food on the table, having a car to get around, being able to pay for others' food, etc. Not everyone has those luxuries. It really humbles you to see how much you have taken for granted and helps you become much more appreciative of everything you have, not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally. When I did help desk, anytime I took phone calls, a lot of the guys would say sexist things to me. I was told I was too pretty to be in tech or to be in this industry. In my honest opinion, I don't care if someone looks like Beyonce. If they want to do tech, they should be allowed. I often have students from around the world taking class next to me. Due to the language and cultural barriers, it takes more effort to integrate these international students into group projects, study groups, and the social sides of academia. Often, the group prioritizes its immediate needs over ensuring that this person not only feels welcomed, but is contributing to the full extent that they desire. The world is an international community, and contributions from people are found from every culture and written in every language. Not spending the time working with other cultures causes us to miss untold opportunities for ourselves and deprive fellow Broncos of opportunities for their education and future. My experience with diversity is people stay close to their own cultures and norms. And last slide. It's not about where you're from or what color you are. It's about how you come together and make a stronger bond. It took me a long time to learn that being different is one of the best qualities you can bring to the table. So is empathy. It is hard to be different and hard to have different views, and it's even harder to be criticized and belittled for these things. It doesn't make your views irrelevant if someone disagrees with you. That's where the biggest growth happens if you let it. I've had days where I felt like I was the only one in the room with a rain cloud over my head. They were long days. As I came to terms with myself, I began to understand the importance of being kind and helping others feel empowered, regardless of where they came from. There will always be a second and third perspective, and while it's important to stay on task and to perform business as normal, sometimes a change in perspective allows new ideas to develop and eventually take off. With that in mind, diversity should be important in cybersecurity, as it allows us to work collaboratively in a safe environment, enabling us to respect each other, to feel a deeper connection to the work we do, and to contribute and to continue the development of the constant changing threat landscape. So, that is the most reading I'm going to do off of these slides, all presentations. So, it's just something that I think is really important. These are anonymous for a reason. You don't know who said these quotes because it could be anybody. It could be the person sitting right next to you and you wouldn't even know it. And a lot of these quotes mentioned diversity. I purposely didn't mention that in my titles and in my descriptions because diversity has become such a big buzzword. And I think that it's come with a lot of negative connotations as well. So right now we're going to go over some of the questions that I get when I even mention the word diversity. It's not a negative connotation, but I think that the issues that we're facing are so much greater than just diversity itself. So some common questions. Why does diversity matter so much? So this is where I'm going to ask you all to participate a little bit in this presentation. And I want some of you to speak up and, you know, why do you think diversity matters so much?
Our field suffers because of a lack of diversity. We don't make the best decisions because of a lack of diversity. We don't have enough talent because of a lack of diversity.
Absolutely. Yep, that is a great point. Would anybody else like to share?
Well, the world is getting smaller because of the technology. And if we're not used to dealing with other people from different countries and different backgrounds and different languages, and we become skewed in our view. And I can attest to you the time when I was in undergrad, being at the University of Vermont, the only probably Asian in the whole school. And it's a lot of people said, I cannot believe you did X, Y, Z, because not a lot of people know that we did X, Y, Z's. So I think diversity is important, especially now with, you know, COVID-19. We have one thing in common: everybody suffers, and the world is getting smaller by the day.
Yeah, absolutely. So those are both awesome points, and you're absolutely right. The world is getting smaller, and our field is absolutely suffering from a lack of different opinions. So we'll talk about that more later in the presentation. Next question. Why not just hire the best person for the job? So somebody tell me what the best person for the job is. Anybody? There's no wrong answers here.
You want to make sure that the job is taken care of and it is done precisely on time and correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. So what does that look like? And this is kind of a rhetorical question because there's no right answer. Every job is different and every job requires a different skill set, and there's not one perfect person for every job. Like, ask any employer. They would hire somebody and discover awesome qualities that they never even thought about having, or discover that like there are some qualities that they don't actually need. So the best person for the job varies so greatly that it's really hard to say like what is the best person for the job. And the last question, by adding diversity, that is adding more competition. Should I be afraid for my job? No, you should not. There will be 3.5 million unfilled cybersecurity jobs in 2021. Please do not be afraid for your job. There are more jobs than they have the people to fill. So, a little bit of history. This is one of my favorite parts of the presentation because it was exactly 100 years since the 19th Amendment passed this last August. And that is super awesome. So I would also like to take this opportunity to please vote this year. This is election year, so please vote. Exercise your right. Anyway, so on July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence was signed in. It was over 100 years, over 200 years, if I can do math right, before everybody was granted the right to vote. Now, by providing or by letting blocks happen within the industry for diversity, that's just setting us back. It shouldn't be another 200 years before everybody is treated the same way. It's so important, and as cybersecurity keeps growing, the hackers don't care if, like, they want the best hacker. They want the person who's gonna break in, and that could be anybody. So industry needs to look exactly the same way now, not 100 years from now. A couple statistics for you guys. 20% women in FAST in 2019-2020, which is very consistent with what industry looks like right now. In the past few years, it has gone from 11% to 20%. But the world consists of 51% women. There are 12% people of color for information security analysts in 2019. And here's the thing that I don't think a lot of us think about is 100% of the world is diverse. Industry needs to look exactly like that, 100% diverse. If you would like to go into IT or information security, that should absolutely be an option. So we're gonna look at this chart. Can you all see my many browsers? Can everyone see that, my chart? Yes.
Nope.
No,
No.
I think the only thing we can actually see is just the slide about the
Some
statistics, and that is it.
I think you have to stop presenting. Oh, never
Okay.
mind.
Can we see it now with all my many browsers from all
Yes.
my
Yes.
various
We
activities?
can see it now.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a breakdown of not just genders in tech, but also races and culture, ethnicities. So, and it also breaks it down by, I love this chart, it breaks it down by company as well. So we can see exactly who is being the most diverse. So as you can see, none of these companies are particularly strong in diversity. There are obviously some that are better than others and have more equal numbers. But again, and this is just looking at like looks for diversity. It's looking at things that you can see, gender, ethnicity, things like that. And the slides will be posted, so if you would like, you can come back and review any part of this. Okay, back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so what is diversity? I'm sure we all know the answer to this, so I'm gonna just show you the answer. Diversity is different race, ethnicity, gender, sexual orientation, socioeconomic status, age, physical ability, religious beliefs, and political beliefs. Now, here's another participation opportunity. What is inclusion? Feel free to shout out.
Making sure that everyone has an equal opportunity to participate.
Awesome, yes. Anyone else? Not
Making
shout at once,
everyone
guys.
feel included.
What was that?
Making everyone feel included and welcomed.
Yes, that's awesome.
I would say even more so, making people that are outside feel inside, whatever the context is for that.
Yeah, definitely. Those are all great answers. These are the ones that I have on the PowerPoint, but those are all awesome, and you're absolutely correct. Just making, as Greg said, making people on the outside feel like they're on the inside. Nobody wants to feel like they're left out of the group. So fair and respectful environment, equal access to opportunities and resources, and full contribution to the organization's success. That's inclusion. So another participation opportunity. I know you guys are loving this presentation. Why are diversity and inclusion so important?
It allows for better communication between your team, and it allows for more ideas to be spread in your team and with everyone else.
Yes, absolutely. Good. More ideas and more sharing.
From a selfish perspective, it also reduces missed opportunities. All those diverse people and groups all bring their own unique spins and knowledge and backgrounds, perspectives. So you are going to have a lesser company and a lesser product and less profit if you don't have inclusion.
Absolutely. Yeah. One more. Anybody else want to share?
It enables you to develop empathy.
That is that's awesome. And that is a big word, empathy. It's super, super important to have empathy for those around you. It's one of the most important skills that you can have, like, ever. So I will come back to your comments. What I have right here is that diversity is a statistic. Diversity is what you look like. It's where you come from. That's diversity. It's very visual. Inclusion is how a person feels, and you want a diverse organization where people feel like they belong. And finally, as everybody who answered this question touched on, diversity of thought is so important in organizations. You need people who think differently and who are able to work together, because that's how you solve the bigger problems. That's how you find creative ways to solve the problems. So coming back to empathy, that's a lot. I'm going to talk about that in a few slides. But it's so important for you to be empathetic to people's situations, to not judge the person next to you because maybe they're not as technically talented, but they have other skills to bring to the table. That is so important, and it's what creates a good workforce. So I know everybody loves money, everybody cares about money. So what are the financial benefits of diversity? As we can see from our lovely graphs, companies with below average diversity scores had 26% average innovation revenue. And companies with above average diversity scores had 45% average innovation revenue. They grew about 20%. Their revenue grew about 20% just for having good diversity, which is pretty amazing. And for our next chart, what's the likelihood that companies in the top quartile for diversity financially outperform those in the bottom quartile? Gender diverse companies are 15% more likely to outperform, and ethnically diverse companies are 35% more likely to outperform. So, as much as money matters, diversity also matters, and diversity is what gets you good revenue. We'll put it that way. Oh, I'm super excited for this part. It's a game, for those of you who attended my presentation last semester, I'm sure you remember this. It's called Who Would You Hire? I'm gonna present to you 4 candidates, and I want you to tell me which one you would hire. Like, simple as that. We're gonna get a polling system set up for you and everything. So, first candidate. Oh, first of all of these candidates are being considered for the same cybersecurity job, They're new college graduates and they're from Cal Poly Pomona. So they have the same basic credentials. Person A has a bachelor's in computer information systems, is Security Plus certified, has had 5 internships, 3 of which are at top ranking companies because they started in high school, has had minimal club involvement, and has a 4.0 GPA. Person B has a bachelor's in computer information systems, is A+ and Network Plus certified, has had 1 internship at a small startup and a consistent job as a food server, is involved in leadership in 3 clubs of different topics and focuses on campus, and has a 3.2 GPA. Okay. Person C, bachelor's in computer science, no certifications, has had 2 internships with the government and coaches a club soccer team, volunteers for charity, and has a 3.5 GPA. Person D has a bachelor's in computer science, OSCP certified, has had 1 government and 2 corporate internships, is involved in social Greek life, and has a 3.7 GPA. So, Finn, if we could get that first poll up. Go ahead and vote. Which person would you hire just based off of these?
Would you re-show the first slide?
Yes, absolutely.
JJ, I think it was a different slide in regards to their GPAs.
Yes, you're right, it was. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll leave the poll up for another 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Ten more seconds.
I feel like we need some Jeopardy style filler music here.
Okay, awesome. So before we move on to the next slides, I just want to take a moment, and we're not going to share out for this one. So everybody sees can everybody see what the results were? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So let's just take a moment. Think to yourself why specifically why you voted for that person. Was it because you were impressed by their credentials? Because maybe they reminded you of yourself a little bit? Just like take a moment and consider your decision just with yourself. A lot of times we pick, so bias is introduced into hiring process and virtually everything else. So that definitely does play into why you would pick somebody for a job. So just think about that. So next, we are moving on from candidate skills to candidate personalities. So person A has good technical skills, prefers working alone to teamwork, lacks interpersonal skills, and is reported to tell people their opinions are invalid. Person B, good leadership and teamwork skills, good problem-solving skills, can be stubborn sometimes, and has had some disciplinary issues in class. Person C gets glowing recommendations from teachers, lacking some technical skills, is a quick learner, but gets easily distracted. And person D, good interpersonal skills, excellent teamwork skills, struggles with written communication, and has posted some inappropriate pictures online. So these are all the same candidates as you just voted on. But now we've added a different layer to their resumes, which is their personalities. So knowing that, go ahead and vote. If you need to see any of the previous slides, just go ahead and let me know.
Could we see the previous slide real quick?
Yes. Oh my gosh, go, 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 go. No, go away. Okay. Apparently I'm having some technical difficulties. Okay. No, that's not it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Thirty more seconds. Results are
Okay.
in.
Awesome. So it looks like quite a few of you changed your opinions. Person B still won. But that just, it shows, it goes back to one of the questions that I asked in the beginning is, why not just hire the best person for the job? So what does that look like? Is that the person with the best technical skills? Is that the person with the best personality? Somewhere in between? And just to reflect a little bit, it was awesome the first time that I presented this. I don't get to see all of your faces right now. So that's kind of bumming me out, because the first time that I presented this game with FAST, once I presented the candidates' personalities, I had a lot of shocked looks, and because we'd already voted. So we'd already voted on the skills. So people voted, and then they were shocked to find out that maybe the person that they had initially voted for was not somebody that they wanted to work with. And that was just, it was the effect that I was going for, but that was just really awesome. So I'm going to ask you again to reflect on why you chose the person that you did. We're not going to share out, but think about that and think about how bias might play in to your hiring choices. So we're going to move on from that, but thanks so much for playing, guys. I hope you had fun. Come on. Okay, so these are the people that you chose to hire. The way the game was designed is that you could not see what your person looked like until you had reviewed their resume. You didn't know names, so you had no clues about gender, ethnicity, anything that these people looked like. And most people chose to hire person B, which, you know, given the 20% of women in industry, that is not a common hiring practice. So, you know, good on you guys. But that's kind of just what I wanted to show, is that nobody looks don't determine whether you're good for a job. So what does a good cyber workforce look like? As we've seen in this presentation, I think nobody knows what a good cyber workforce looks like. It's all based on bias and opinion. And I think that the point is that as much as I would like to say, like, looks should not matter in your hiring process, it is really, really important for the public to see that your company's workforce reflects what the public looks like. People like to shop with people and hire people and work with people who look like them and think like them. They want to see a representation of, like, they want to be able to picture themselves in that role. So a good cyber workforce is diverse and inclusive, and empathetic to everybody's situations. So last thoughts, and this will absolutely lead into the workshop that I have set up for you all on Friday. Find your support. I know that a lot of people struggle with things like imposter syndrome, which I didn't really touch on in this presentation, but it is just basically a feeling like you don't belong, a feeling like you're not supposed to be in cybersecurity or any industry. It happens to everyone. So find your support, find a group of people who support you and that you can go to when you're struggling. I have struggled so much just in like tech in general. And having that group of people, honestly, having that group of people that supports me and just pushes me to be better has made all of the difference in the world. Next, communicate. We cannot fix the diversity and inclusion gaps if we don't communicate with each other, which leads into the next one, is that nobody's perfect. It is not necessarily that somebody is really just out to get you and really trying to make you miserable and like not wanting you to be there. These things are learned habits, and you have to like as a society we have to unlearn. We have to unlearn our bad habits and then relearn the good habits. So nobody's perfect. Don't automatically be angry at somebody for saying something that maybe wasn't as nice as it could have been. Try to educate them. But keep in mind that creating a diverse and inclusive space is not solely on your shoulders. And if you've said your piece and if you've tried to educate, don't stress yourself out. Don't go crazy because you can't fix this one thing, this one idea that somebody has. And I wouldn't say you're fixing a person because that's not how that works. But it's not on you. It's on all of us to hold each other accountable, to be nice to each other, and to have good intentions in our actions. So with that, connect with me. These are all of my medias and all of that. I would love to connect with you. I'd love to talk to you. I also forgot to say this before I presented, but this is a safe space. So if anybody has any questions or critiques for me, if I said something that maybe you didn't like, I really tried not to, but please let me know. I would love to learn and make sure that you all have a safe environment. This was not meant to be a presentation that like criticizes anybody, because we all have learning to do, myself included. So safe space. I'm here for you if you have any questions or if you need anything. I know that the FAST e-board is as well. So thank you all so much for attending. I always love doing these talks. So if you have any questions, I think you have about 2 minutes or 2 hours on Friday.
I have a quick one for you.
Yes.
So you've done this presentation a couple of times and you're pretty familiar with it. But when you did it this time, this is your newest iteration of it. What new insight did you find for yourself as you were kind of rethinking it and re-going through it?
I mean, so that's a really difficult question. I think that every time I do these kinds of presentations, I have new experiences to reflect on. And so it's just like, it's a whole growth process for me too. It's just like reflecting on the experiences that I've had and like, how could I have done that better? And like, what have I learned? So what I'm sharing is just like what I've learned. And one of the things that I added to this presentation was the quotes from your peers, which I had never thought of, but as you know, and as we all know in the world, and specifically the United States, but the world right now, there's a lot of talk about diversity and inclusion, it's all over the news. So being able to like share opinions and experiences in a safe environment, and it is anonymous, so there's no judgment going for anybody who was able to send me quotes. Being able to share those kinds of things and communicate those with your peers, I think is really important. So I tried to make that a theme of today, is just like communicate, educate your friends, like hold each other accountable. So that was, I think, I guess every presentation has a theme. And I guess that was the theme of this time, just reflecting on my experiences and the world as it stands right now. It's not really necessarily one thing that I can say, like, this is different, this is what I learned. It's just an ever-growing process. Yeah, thanks for your question. Anybody else?
We'll give it another minute just in case if anybody else has a question they're going to think of before we close out this presentation and the rest of the meeting.
Of course. And if you don't want to ask me in front of, everybody, I totally do not blame you. So feel free to DM me on Slack or Twitter or LinkedIn. Either way, yeah, just let me know.
Say something.
Talk to me. Yes.
As a minority, the term diversity and inclusion, I can tell you, to be honest with you, it makes me cringe.
Yeah.
Because it's simply this. I mean, I know that throughout my college years, I have this mental, what you call that? It's almost like the belief that I have to prove that I can do what you can do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the other side of it is that I get this, if I get some honors or I get that, internship or the job, they always equip that with the fact that the place needs somebody like me, instead of seeing that I have the, the credential that I can do the job. They assume it's my nationality, where I came from, my color skin, my all this, and it gets me.
Yeah.
And it's so it is one of those things that I get what you're saying. You need it, and it's on you and on me. But as a person on that side of the fence, it's really icky. I don't like it. I mean, I go through it all the time. I mean, in my PhD, I was doing it online, and I was so glad because my name is Maria Stevens. They assume I'm a white girl from Kansas, right? Not Indonesian person who barely speak the language. But I was able to prove that I can do what they can do without anybody saying, oh, of course you get that honors. Of course you get that grad school. They need her. And it's like, you have to be super careful on how you present this diversity and inclusion, because you don't want to come across as a chip that said, oh, I get you. It must be really hard for you. And I don't want to hear it. And I used to get so angry when people said that, oh, you got accepted to that grad school because what else? They need you. And it's like, damn it, I worked so hard. I worked so hard for this.
Yeah.
And so, yes, be kind, be gentle, be this, but don't give people like me a pity. We don't want it. We can kick your ass as hard as you can kick mine, right? And so that kind of mentality should be somewhere being put out there, because right now the media is painting that people of color doesn't have enough voice. They're not smart enough to fight. They're not smart enough they're not articulate enough. They don't have it. It's like, let's make room. And that is the danger. You go into the other side and you give us pity, and we don't want it.
Yeah. And that's an excellent point. Thank you. That is, I'm trying to articulate myself. it's so important. I usually say this in presentations, but it's so important to build people up, not give opportunities because you need a visually diverse community.
There is a huge difference between developing empathy and having pity.
Yeah.
Say it again.
There is a huge difference between developing empathy and having pity.
That's right. But in practice, sometimes it's not that easily, what you call that, separate.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's super excellent. Thank you for that point. That's really important. So did everybody hear what she just said? Because that is, it's incredibly important. Awesome.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, JJ.
Thank you.
Honestly am so glad that you were our first speaker of the semester in regard to this talk. It's very important that people need to understand how much diversity plays in everybody's lives, not just in the workforce, but, you know, just in everyday life. And, you know, I'm very sad that I was not able to see your presentation last year, but I am forever glad that I was able to participate in this one for this year. So thank you so much. But I cannot wait for your social this Friday. So please, 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 everybody, please attend. This is a great topic to talk to. And I can see that JJ is very passionate about it, and just, I literally felt everything. So thank you so much for this.
Yeah, thank you guys for, thank you all for the opportunity. It's such a learning experience every time. And, you know, as much as I spend most of the time talking during my presentations, I learn something from everyone every single time. So it's a really awesome opportunity.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. Well, this concludes the rest of our general meeting for today. We'll go ahead and let you guys go, so it gives you enough time to get some water, get some food, you know, take a little break before your next class. And we all look forward to seeing you this Friday. We'll go ahead and share further information about this Friday, and we hope to see you all online. So thank you to everybody for coming in today. It means a lot to us. It really does. So thank you. Big applaud to everybody, and especially JJ, big applaud to you.
Yes, connect with me. Come talk to me. I'm lonely out here in virtual land.
Definitely. And we'd like to also extend thanks to Professor Dan Mason and Dr. Maria Stevens. Thank you for your guys' input and involvement. It's very insightful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Quick tangent.